Welcome to Taiwan. Taiwan, an island jewel in the Western Pacific, is a land where ancient traditions and cutting-edge innovation exist in perfect harmony. From its marble gorges and mist-shrouded mountains to its vibrant night markets and architectural marvels, this compact island nation offers an astonishing diversity of experiences. Spanning just 36,000 square kilometers, Taiwan packs an extraordinary range of landscapes: tropical beaches in the south, rugged peaks in the center, and dramatic coastal cliffs in the east. As we explore Taiwan's most spectacular wonders, we'll journey through dense forests, sacred temples, and geological marvels that have shaped this remarkable land. We'll discover how this island at the crossroads of East Asia has cultivated a unique identity, blending indigenous Austronesian cultures with Chinese heritage and modern influences. But before we dive into the wonders of Taiwan, let's begin with some fascinating facts about this extraordinary destination. Taiwan sits at the junction of two major tectonic plates, the Philippine Sea Plate and the Eurasian Plate. This collision creates Taiwan's dramatic topography and makes it one of the most seismically active regions in the world. The island experiences approximately 15,000 earthquakes annually, though most are too small to be felt. This tectonic activity constantly reshapes the landscape, pushing the mountains upward by several centimeters each year. The Central Mountain Range, formed by this ongoing collision, contains over 200 peaks, exceeding 3,000 meters in height, despite Taiwan's compact size, earning it the historical Portuguese name Ilha Formosa, the beautiful island. Despite covering just 36,000 square kilometers, Taiwan has emerged as a global technological giant, producing approximately 60% of the world's semiconductors. The Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, is the world's largest dedicated independent semiconductor foundry, making chips that power everything from smartphones to advanced AI systems. This technological prowess extends beyond manufacturing. Taiwan boasts one of the world's highest internet penetration rates, widespread digital infrastructure, and a thriving startup ecosystem. The island transformed from an agricultural economy to a high-tech powerhouse in just a few decades, creating one of the most remarkable economic development stories in modern history. Taiwan's isolation and varied topography have created an extraordinary biodiversity haven. Despite occupying just 0.025% of the world's land area, Taiwan is home to nearly 2.5% of the world's plant and animal species. The island harbors approximately 61,000 species, with remarkable endemism rates. Over 20% of its wildlife exists nowhere else on Earth. From the Formosan black bear and Taiwan blue magpie to the Taiwanese landlocked salmon, these unique species have evolved in isolation. Taiwan's biodiversity spans alpine ecosystems above 3,000 meters to tropical coral reefs, all within a day's travel distance. Conservation efforts protect this natural heritage through 9 national parks and numerous reserves covering about 20% of the island. Taroko Gorge. Towering walls of marble stretch skyward, carved by the relentless flow of the Yehliu River. Taroko Gorge stands as Taiwan's most dramatic natural wonder, a 19-kilometer canyon where solid rock has been transformed into a masterpiece of natural architecture. This colossal marble formation cuts through the eastern coast of Taiwan, creating one of the most spectacular landscapes in all of Asia. Some sections narrow to just a few meters wide, while the canyon walls soar hundreds of meters high, creating a mesmerizing interplay of light and shadow as sunlight filters down to the turquoise waters below. The geological story of Taroko began over 200 million years ago when sedimentary limestone formed on the ocean floor. Intense pressure and heat metamorphosed this limestone into marble, which was then thrust upward by the collision of tectonic plates. For millions of years, the Liwu River has been carving through this marble, revealing layers of white, gray, green, and blue stone swirled together in patterns that seem almost painted by an artist's hand. Visitors traverse the gorge on the Swallow Grotto Trail, where tiny birds nest in crevices high in the marble walls. The Eternal Spring Shrine, built to honor workers who died constructing the Cross Island Highway, clings to the canyon wall beside a waterfall that seems to emerge from the temple itself. For the indigenous Truku people, who gave this place its name meaning magnificent and beautiful, the gorge isn't merely a natural formation, but a sacred space where the physical and spiritual worlds intersect. Today, the area is protected as Taroko National Park, preserving this geological wonder for future generations to witness the power of nature's patient artistry. Alishan Forest Railway. Steel tracks wind through misty forests and along precarious mountain edges, carrying vintage trains on one of the world's most remarkable railway journeys. Built in 1912 during Japanese colonial rule, the Alishan Forest Railway is an engineering marvel that defies the impossible terrain of Taiwan's central mountain range. Originally constructed to transport massive cypress logs from the highlands, this narrow-gauge railway now carries visitors on a mesmerizing journey through diverse ecosystems and breathtaking landscapes. The 71-kilometer route is a testament to human ingenuity, climbing from just 30 meters above sea level in Chiayi to an elevation of 2,216 meters at Alishan. Along the way, the train navigates 50 tunnels and crosses 77 bridges, including the hair-raising Dulishan spiral, where the track loops back over itself to gain elevation. The journey passes through 3 distinct climate zones: tropical, subtropical, and temperate, creating a living museum of Taiwan's botanical diversity. The true magic of Alishan awaits those who arrive before dawn. Visitors gather in darkness at the Jiufen viewing platform, where the spectacle of sunrise over the sea of clouds has become legendary. As first light breaks, mountain peaks emerge from an ocean of mist like islands in a celestial sea. Sacred red cypress trees, some over 2,000 years old, stand as silent sentinels, their twisted forms catching the golden morning light. For generations, this sunrise has drawn pilgrims and photographers seeking to capture one of Asia's most spectacular natural displays, a moment when heaven and earth seem to merge in perfect harmony. Jiufen Old Street. Narrow stone stairways wind between weathered buildings, where red lanterns cast a warm glow and steam rises from food stalls lining the path. Jiufen, a former gold mining town nestled in the mountains of northeastern Taiwan, has transformed from a forgotten backwater into one of the island's most atmospheric destinations. Built into steep hillsides overlooking the Pacific Ocean, this labyrinthine village seems suspended between reality and fantasy, a quality that reportedly inspired the magical town in Hayao Miyazaki's animated film, Spirited Away. Jiufen's story began with a gold rush in the early 20th century, when the discovery of precious metal transformed a tiny settlement into a prosperous town. When the gold veins ran dry, Jiufen fell into decline until cinema and tourism gave it new life. Today, its winding alleyways preserve the architecture and atmosphere of Taiwan's past, creating an immersive journey through time. As dusk falls, Jiufen reveals its most enchanting face. Hundreds of lanterns illuminate the mist that frequently envelops the mountain, creating an otherworldly ambiance. Tea houses with panoramic ocean views invite visitors to sip local oolong while seated on tatami mats in Japanese-style interiors. Below, food vendors prepare traditional delicacies: taro balls in sweet soup, peanut ice cream rolls, and glutinous rice cakes, using recipes passed down through generations. Each corner of Jiufen tells a story of cultural fusion, where Japanese colonial influences, Chinese traditions, and indigenous elements blend into something uniquely Taiwanese, captured perfectly in this hillside town where past and present coexist in atmospheric harmony. Sun Moon Lake. Tranquil waters mirror the surrounding mountains, changing colors as clouds cast shifting shadows across the surface. Sun Moon Lake, nestled in the highlands of central Taiwan at an elevation of 748 meters, is the island's largest natural body of water and one of its most cherished scenic treasures. Named for its distinctive shape, the eastern part round like the sun, the western part curved like a crescent moon, this alpine lake has inspired poets, artists, and spiritual seekers for centuries. In the soft light of early morning, mist hovers just above the water's surface, creating an ethereal landscape as local fishermen navigate small boats using techniques passed down through generations. These waters are home to the Thao people, one of Taiwan's smallest indigenous tribes, with fewer than 800 members. According to Thao legend, their ancestors discovered the lake while chasing a white deer through the mountains and, captivated by its beauty, decided to make this their permanent home. Temples and shrines dot the shoreline, including the picturesque Wenwu Temple with its distinctive orange roof and the Sai En Pagoda, built by Chiang Kai-shek in memory of his mother. From the pagoda's top, the entirety of the lake unfolds below, cradled by forest-covered mountains on all sides. A 30-kilometer bicycle path circles the lake, allowing visitors to experience changing vistas along what National Geographic once included among the world's most scenic cycling routes. At the lake's center lies Lanyu Island, a sacred place for the Thao people that was largely submerged following an earthquake in 1999, leaving just a small portion visible, a poignant reminder of nature's constant evolution in this land of tectonic activity. Taipei 101. A colossal tower rises from the urban landscape, its distinctive form reminiscent of a bamboo stalk reaching toward the heavens. Taipei 101, once the tallest building in the world from 2004 to 2010, stands as the defining landmark of Taiwan's capital and a symbol of the island's technological prowess and economic strength. Soaring 508 meters with 101 floors, plus 5 underground, this architectural icon dominates the skyline while embodying principles of Asian design and cutting-edge engineering. Every element of Taipei 101's design carries cultural significance. Its segmented appearance echoes the jointed structure of bamboo, symbolizing strength, resilience, and prosperity in Chinese tradition. 8 sections of 8 floors each incorporate the number 8, associated with good fortune and abundance. Even the exterior resembles a traditional Chinese money box, reflecting aspirations for national wealth and success. The tower's color, a distinctive blue-green, represents the hues of bamboo and copper patina, connecting modern architecture to natural and historical elements. Inside this vertical city, a technological marvel ensures the structure's safety. A 660-ton steel sphere suspended between the 87th and 92nd floors. This massive tuned mass damper, the world's largest, acts as a counterbalance against typhoon winds and seismic activity, swinging in opposition to the building's movement to maintain stability. Visitors can observe this enormous pendulum in action, a visible demonstration of how human ingenuity adapts to Taiwan's challenging environmental conditions. From the observatory on the 89th floor, Taipei unfolds in every direction, a metropolis surrounded by mountains and rivers, where traditional temples and markets exist alongside modern developments. The high-speed elevators, traveling at nearly 60 kilometers per hour, whisk visitors from bottom to top in just 37 seconds. Each New Year's Eve, the building transforms into a spectacular display platform, with fireworks and light shows that can be seen across the city. A fitting celebration for a structure that embodies Taiwan's remarkable journey from traditional society to global technological leader. Yehliu Geopark. Surreal rock formations rise from a narrow peninsula, sculpted by wind and waves into shapes that defy imagination. Yehliu Geopark, extending into the East China Sea along Taiwan's northern coast, presents one of the world's most unusual landscapes, a natural sculpture garden where geological processes have created formations that seem almost deliberately crafted. Covering an area of 1.7 kilometers, this coastal wonderland attracts visitors who marvel at nature's artistic capabilities. The undisputed star of this geological theater is the Queen's Head, a mushroom-shaped rock whose profile bears a striking resemblance to a regal human face. Formed when softer sandstone eroded beneath a harder cap layer, this natural sculpture has become a symbol of Taiwan itself. Yet the Queen's reign is finite. Despite conservation efforts, the formation continues to erode by 1 to 3 centimeters annually, with scientists predicting it may collapse within decades, lending an air of urgency to experiencing this fleeting wonder. Beyond the famous Queen's Head, the park features numerous formations with evocative names reflecting their appearance: Fairy's Shoe, Ginger Rocks, Sea Candles, and the Beehive. Each tells a story of how sedimentary rock laid down beneath ancient seas was later thrust upward by tectonic forces, only to be sculpted by wind, waves, and weather. The landscape feels almost extraterrestrial, barren, windswept, and exposed to the full force of the elements. On stormy days, waves crash against the peninsula's edge, occasionally washing completely over narrower sections, continuing the erosion process that has shaped these remarkable forms. The soft sedimentary rock at Yehliu contains countless marine fossils, evidence of Taiwan's origins beneath the sea, and a reminder that this island nation continues to be shaped by the dynamic forces that have transformed it for millions of years. As visitors walk among these strange formations, they witness not just a curious landscape, but a living geological process that connects present to deep time. Kenting National Park. Pristine white sand beaches curve along a tropical coastline, where crystal-clear waters reveal vibrant coral reefs just meters from shore. Kenting National Park, occupying the southern tip of Taiwan, presents a vision of the island that contradicts its usual image of misty mountains and bustling cities. Established in 1984 as Taiwan's first national park, this protected area spans 33,000 hectares of land and sea, preserving a mosaic of diverse ecosystems: coral reefs, coastal forests, grasslands, and dramatic sea cliffs. Kenting's magic derives partly from its unique position at the junction of tropical and subtropical zones, allowing the park to host plants and animals from both ecosystems. The waters surrounding the peninsula teem with marine life. Over 1,200 fish species, 250 types of coral, and countless invertebrates make this one of Asia's premier diving destinations. Snorkelers can explore this underwater wonderland with minimal equipment, discovering a kaleidoscope of colors and activity just beneath the surface. The park's interior offers a different kind of exploration. Limestone caves punctuate the landscape, formed by centuries of water erosion. Forests of banyan trees create mysterious environments with their aerial roots, forming labyrinthine structures. At Kenting's southern extreme stands Eliwanbi Lighthouse, built in 1883 and fortified against potential attacks. earning it the distinction of being the only armed lighthouse in the world. From this vantage point, visitors can gaze out to where three bodies of water meet: the Taiwan Strait, Bashi Channel, and Pacific Ocean. What makes this tropical paradise even more appealing is its climate. While northern Taiwan might be shrouded in winter clouds and rain, Kenting enjoys over 300 days of sunshine annually. Even in January, visitors can swim in warm waters while the rest of the island reaches for sweaters. As darkness falls, Kenting Night Market bursts to life along the main street of Hengchun town, where food vendors prepare fresh seafood caught that same day, a perfect conclusion to a day spent exploring Taiwan's spectacular southern shores. Tainan's ancient temples. Incense spirals hang from temple ceilings, sending fragrant smoke curling through ornately carved wooden beams as worshippers pray before altars centuries old. Tainan, Taiwan's oldest city and former capital, harbors over 1,600 temples within its boundaries, creating the highest density of religious sites in the country. These are not mere historical monuments, but living cultural centers where locals bring offerings, seek guidance, and honor traditions that stretch back through the centuries. Begin at Taiwan's oldest Confucian temple, established in 1665. Unlike the more colorful Taoist or Buddhist temples, this scholarly shrine embodies elegant simplicity with its red columns, sweeping roofs, and tranquil central courtyard. Nearby stands Coexist Shrine, dedicated to the national hero who expelled Dutch colonizers in 1662, marking the beginning of Han Chinese rule in Taiwan. This site blends temple architecture with museum exhibits, helping explain how Taiwan developed its unique identity at the crossroads of multiple cultures. Perhaps most fascinating is the Grand Matsu Temple, founded in 1664 as the first temple in Taiwan dedicated to the goddess who protects fishermen and sailors. Watch as devotees shake bamboo divination sticks to receive guidance from the goddess, then retrieve corresponding oracle slips from numbered drawers, continuing practices unchanged for generations. Every temple in Tainan tells a story of deities, historical events, local legends, and the communities that have maintained these sacred spaces through wars, natural disasters, and political upheavals. What makes Tainan's temples different from those elsewhere in Asia is how they're woven into daily life. These aren't isolated sanctuaries, but integrated community spaces where people socialize, celebrate, mourn, and mark the rhythms of their lives. Many stand side by side with colonial buildings, Dutch forts, Japanese administrative offices, and modern structures, creating a streetscape where architecture from different eras coexists, much like the various spiritual traditions that have found expression in these temples. For visitors, Tainan offers more than a glimpse of religious architecture. It provides insight into the spiritual foundations that have shaped Taiwanese identity through centuries of change. Penghu basalt columns. Perfect hexagonal pillars rise from the sea, standing side by side like pipes in a giant stone organ. The Penghu basalt columns, scattered across the archipelago between Taiwan and mainland China, represent one of Earth's most striking geological features. These aren't just any rocks. They're geometrically precise formations that seem almost artificially designed, yet were created entirely by natural processes. The column's origin story begins 8 to 17 million years ago, when the Penghu archipelago experienced intense volcanic activity. As lava cooled rapidly, it contracted and fractured in a distinctive hexagonal pattern, similar to how mud cracks when dried, but on a much grander scale. The most impressive formations can be found at Tongpan Island, where the columns create a natural amphitheater facing the sea. As waves crash against the base of these structures, seawater shoots upward through blowholes, creating spectacular fountains during strong tides. What makes these formations even more remarkable is how they form geological staircases that lead from land to sea. These natural steps create tide pools teeming with marine life. Sea anemones, crabs, small fish, and colorful algae adapted to life in this constantly changing environment. The columns take on different characters throughout the day. In morning light, they appear cool gray. By sunset, they transform to warm amber as the golden light brings out rich tones in the basalt. Beyond their beauty, these formations hold scientific importance as among the most well-preserved basalt columns in the world. They offer geologists insights into volcanic processes that have shaped much of our planet. For visitors, the Penghu basalt columns provide a rare opportunity to witness how mathematics isn't just a human invention, but a fundamental language of the natural world, expressed here in stone through perfect hexagonal patterns that have stood against the sea for millions of years. Qingshui Cliffs. Sheer walls of marble and granite plunge from mountain heights directly into the Pacific Ocean, creating one of the most dramatic coastal landscapes in the world. The Qingshui Cliffs, stretching for 21 kilometers along Taiwan's eastern coast, soar to heights exceeding 1,000 meters, nearly the elevation of 3 Empire State Buildings stacked atop each other. These aren't merely cliffs, but the exposed edge of a mountain range that continues deep beneath the ocean surface, making them among the highest sea cliffs on the planet. The Suhua Highway, carved into the cliff face, offers travelers heart-stopping views, and certainly Taiwan's most white-knuckle driving experience. This precarious road hugs the contours of the mountains, with the sheer drop to the ocean on one side and towering rock faces on the other. Designated viewing platforms allow visitors to safely absorb the spectacle, gazing down at the intense blue waters crashing against the cliff base far below. The cliffs display nature's palette throughout the day. Morning light reveals the marble's subtle green and gray striations. By midday, direct sunlight illuminates every crack and crevice in the cliff face. But the true magic hour comes late afternoon, when the warm light turns the stone golden against the deepening blue of the ocean, creating a scene of overwhelming natural beauty. Geologically speaking, these cliffs are newborns. They continue to rise several centimeters each year due to the ongoing collision between the Philippine Sea Plate and the Eurasian Plate, the same tectonic dance that created Taiwan itself. Fresh water seeps from the rock face and cascades directly into the ocean, creating ethereal curtains of water down the marble surface. For those seeking the ultimate perspective, boat tours along the base of the cliffs reveal the sheer verticality of this landscape, where the boundary between mountain and sea is drawn in one of nature's most dramatic vertical lines. Rainbow Village. Vibrant murals cover every surface of this small community, transforming humble buildings into an explosion of color and whimsy. Rainbow Village in Taichung stands as a testament to how one person's creativity can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. What began as a modest military dependence village, built hastily to house soldiers and families who fled mainland China after 1949, has become one of Taiwan's most unexpected cultural treasures. The village's transformation began with Huang Yongfu, a retired soldier who refused to leave when most residents accepted government compensation to relocate. At age 86, when most people are slowing down, Grandpa Rainbow picked up a paintbrush and began decorating his home with colorful figures, animals, and patterns. Night after night, he expanded his canvas to neighboring abandoned houses, gradually transforming the entire community into a vibrant, open-air gallery. Walking through Rainbow Village feels like stepping inside the imagination of its creator. Every surface bursts with color. Walls, doors, windows, and even paths carry Huang's distinctive style. Childlike human figures with oversized heads smile from the walls, Animals, both real and mythical, peer from corners. Flowers and birds populate every available space. The overall effect is joyful and life-affirming, a celebration of creativity and resilience. Word of the Rainbow Village spread, and students from nearby universities campaigned to preserve the area when it faced demolition. Their efforts succeeded, and today, Rainbow Village stands protected as a cultural landmark that draws visitors from across Taiwan and beyond. What's most touching about this story is how Huang, born in 1924, continued adding to his masterpiece well into his 90s. His work saved not just a physical place, but the stories and memories of a generation that experienced one of the most tumultuous periods in Chinese and Taiwanese history, transformed through art into a landscape of joy. Lanyu. Volcanic shores meet crystal waters on this remote island, where ancient traditions continue largely unchanged by the modern world. Lanyu, also known as Orchid Island, lies 65 kilometers off Taiwan's southeastern coast, geographically separate from the mainland and culturally distinct as well. This is the homeland of the Tao, or Yami, people, who have maintained their traditional way of life for centuries, despite outside influences. The Tao culture revolves around the flying fish that migrate past the island each year. From March to June, the community's entire rhythm shifts to follow these silver visitors. Traditional fishing practices are governed by complex taboos and ceremonies that ensure sustainable harvests. The Tao's wooden boats are works of art, slender vessels with distinctive prow and stern posts that rise high above the water, decorated with eye motifs to help navigate and protect fishermen at sea. Building these boats involves rituals and strict protocols, with construction traditionally taking place at night to avoid the sun's gaze. One of Lanyu's most distinctive features is the traditional Tao underground houses. Partially buried to protect against typhoons and summer heat, these dwellings consist of a sunken living area accessed by steps, with a thick roof that barely rises above ground level. From a distance, a Tao village might look like a collection of grassy mounds rather than houses. Inside, spaces are organized according to traditional gender roles and spiritual beliefs, creating living environments that have remained largely unchanged for centuries. The landscape of Lanyu differs dramatically from Taiwan's main island. Dense jungle covers the volcanic interior, hiding orchids that gave the island its name. The coastline alternates between black volcanic rocks and small white sand beaches. Offshore, the waters surrounding Lanyu rank among Taiwan's best for snorkeling and diving, with volcanic activity creating complex underwater topography, caves, tunnels, and drop-offs that attract diverse marine life. For visitors seeking authentic cultural experiences and pristine nature, Lanyu offers a glimpse of what Taiwan itself might have been like before rapid modernization, a place where people still live in close harmony with natural cycles. Beitou Hot Springs. Steam rises from milky green waters in a valley where the Earth's crust grows thin enough for its fiery heart to warm the surface. Beitou's hot springs, located in a northern suburb of Taipei, have transformed a once quiet agricultural area into Taiwan's most famous spa destination. The journey begins with sulfur, that distinctive smelling element that gives Beitou's waters their healing reputation and characteristic color. The centerpiece of this geothermal wonderland is Thermal Valley, a jade-green pool so hot, 80 to 100 degrees Celsius, that locals call it Hell Valley. This natural cauldron continuously releases steam, creating an otherworldly atmosphere as mist drifts between the surrounding hills. It serves as the source that feeds the area's many hot spring facilities, from public baths to luxury hotels. Beitou's development as a spa destination began during the Japanese colonial period, 1895 to 1945. The occupying administrators, Coming from a culture with deep hot spring traditions, recognized Beitou's potential and built elegant bathhouses in Japanese architectural style. The most notable of these, now housing the Hot Spring Museum, was constructed in 1913 from cypress wood, without a single nail. Its design allows for perfect air circulation, essential in the steamy environment of a bathhouse. Today's Beitou offers bathing experiences for every preference. Traditional public baths maintain separation between men and women, with simple tiled pools of varying temperatures. Luxury hotels provide private stone baths with mountain views. The waters here contain trace amounts of radium, which is said to have therapeutic properties in the small, naturally occurring doses found in the springs. Beyond the waters themselves, Beitou preserves fascinating colonial architecture, including the Beitou Library with its green roof and sustainable design. For visitors to Taiwan, soaking in these mineral-rich waters connects them to both the Earth's primordial energy and a human tradition of seeking healing in these same springs that stretches back through generations. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through Taiwan. We hope you've been inspired by its breathtaking landscapes, rich traditions, and vibrant culture. If you enjoyed this adventure, be sure to subscribe for more explorations of the world's most extraordinary destinations.